This was shared by Charity Lewis, and it features her daughter with a toy camera. She's talking about her day and is basically just recording a little conversation she seems to be having with her dolls. However, at some point, the young girl leaves the room, and then something strange is being captured.
And we also got ice cream that day, and I'm having a lot of fun.
Notice how a dark shadow object is popping by the entrance. We later learn that nobody was in the room anymore, which makes us question what was captured here. Was it a shadow being, therefore a paranormal incident? Pretty eerie for sure, and the family has also no idea as of what had happened here. The following case is somewhat strange, one might say even disturbing. The owners of this doll claim to have seen it move out of nowhere at certain times of the day. On one occasion, a friend of theirs was over, and they told him all about the strange movements of the doll. To nobody's surprise, this event was about to be captured on camera this day. However, apparently, they even noticed a shift in color in the doll's eyes.
Just look. That fan is still blowing and she's stopping. See? See?
Yeah. That's so creepy.
Yeah, it is.
It's also creepy she won't stand anywhere else on the table.
No, I've tried it in 3 or 4 places up here and she won't do it. Let's see something. Oh, I did not do that.
The doll turns all of a sudden in a pretty disturbing way, right after the owner had touched it. And based on him, the doll does not like to be touched. At least that's his suspicion. They even noticed a shift in color in the doll's eyes. The doll's eyes were originally blue, until they became completely dark in a matter of seconds. Unfortunately, we do not have more information about the case. However, many believers say that dolls can act as a vessel for ghostly entities, which includes the positive ones as well as malevolent beings. So, one must be really careful when noticing such strange activity. Michael and Heather are a couple that like to tamper with the paranormal forces. They stream some of their Ouija sessions to their viewership, and ever so often, some really interesting events are unfolding. But lately, as one would expect, these forces seem to make it into their house, even if they are not playing with their Ouija board. As we know, playing with a board opens up a door that oftentimes can't be closed easily again.
Hello? Hello? Whoa. Hello?
Yet they decided to proceed with their live Ouija sessions. On a side note, never take off your hands off the planchette without ending the session first.
I'm freaked out now.
As you can imagine, it didn't end there. The following night, they heard some disturbance from outside of the bedroom.
Shh, shh, shh. Who's there?
Did the poltergeist open all their cupboards, or were they opened previously without showing us? But it escalated even more. Around 2 AM, an intruder seemed to start ringing their doorbell. Nobody can be seen outside their house. Strange. It seems that to this day, these events haven't really calmed down. They have several security cameras mounted in their home to capture all the activity. Even their pets are starting to get freaked out. Let's see how this case develops in the future. The next clip was uploaded in 2008 and was filmed in a care home for the elderly called Northern Hall. The story goes that staff and residents were constantly hearing noises around the building that sounded like a cat, although no animals live in the building. After a few weeks of searching for the animal with no luck, the caretaker decided to set up his laptop to film the hallway, since apparently the sounds were most commonly heard late at night. Let's see what he captured. It was thought that this could possibly have been the spirit of one of the residents' cats coming to visit one last time. What do you all think? Is this truly a ghost sighting or just a hoax? Layla Loves Locks is a young woman who mostly shares songs and choreographies on her profile. However, sometimes she uploads a different kind of video. Something that is not related to her singing or dancing at all. She keeps a little video diary in which she documents about odd events that are unfolding in the home of her and her husband. After moving in, she swears that in the midst of night there have been really loud noises above them. And while giving a little room tour, Layla shares some of her thoughts with us as well. Turns out that the night before, when home alone and performing a dance, something appeared on the recording that shouldn't have been there, right behind Layla.
Hi guys, I'm just doing a quick update. So I just want to show you what's in that room and maybe that'll make things a little bit easier. So this is where I filmed that video in front of this window, and then if you turn around, this is that room. And we do have a weird attic here that I've never been into. So this is my husband's gaming room, which is even weirder. And this space sort of here, just here, is where the shape was. And even weirder, on top of my hairdressing trolley down here, I have this. It's not real, it's fake. I bought it as a placemat. I don't have the planchet to it, it's never been used. I don't know what to do with it. I just use it to mix up bowls on top of. If you look at any of my hairdressing videos, I'm mixing all of my colours on top of this. What do I do with it? Someone give me advice.
Many experts will tell you that it is not a wise decision to keep a Ouija board in your house, especially if you're not storing it in a proper and safe place. Could it be that the activity might be related to this? Impossible to say at this point. Let's jump ahead a few days when Layla and her husband decide to check out that ominous attic.
Right, I covered the board with a black sheet. He's gonna go up there now. What was a flash up there?
They notice something strange in the distance, behind one of the bars. Two glowing eyes appeared out of the darkness, but it doesn't look like a human pair. Maybe it was something completely different though. Could it be the same thing that she captured the night in question? Let's take a look. What's really interesting is that this shadow apparition leans in out of the computer room of her husband, and then within 1 second has just vanished into thin air. There's no apparent cut in the footage, so we have to ask us once more, could this be a paranormal incident, possibly related to the Ouija board, or something that remained in this apartment? If it is not special effects, it's definitely a mystery. The girl in the following video was said to be practicing for her dance lessons, which she recorded regularly. After moving into their new home, they always felt like they were being watched. This was the first time that she actually captured something strange on camera. Some are sure that we can see a translucent shadow figure here. Could that be so? Perhaps the new home is haunted after all. The next clip comes to us from the user Fluvis. The footage was taken in 2015 and was pulled from a security camera in an office building. Unfortunately, not much information regarding the context of the sighting is available. However, we do know that this was filmed at 2 AM and that nobody was in the building at the time of the recording. Let's take a look. In the video we can see what looks to be a storage room with some miscellaneous office furniture and a small garage door. Nothing seems amiss at the beginning, but quickly we notice something strange appears near the center of the room. A weird black figure seems to slither on the floor for a while, and at first glance it might seem like something as innocent as a small animal. Things take a turn for the paranormal when the black shadow starts twisting and contorting itself into strange shapes. It seems to grow and shrink at will. Viewers have warned that this very odd shadow creature could possibly be demonic, especially given the inhumane form. After only a few seconds, the entity disappears into thin air. Could this be a demonic sighting that was caught on film? A man was recording his girlfriend while she was taking a shower. What he captured afterwards startled him to the core. If this isn't a prank, what could that have been? Looks like a female in the shower. Do you think it was just a friend that snuck into the bathroom when we didn't see it? The following is a recording that was shared by a man who started documenting some really unusual activity in his new house. He had just moved in recently, and ever since had trouble sleeping at night. Seeing shadows and weird apparitions was nothing new for him. That's why he started recording these incidents now. The tone of his voice clearly indicates that he was freaked out a little bit.
What the f...
Besides this item being moved up there, however, there was something even more terrifying. A shadow apparition that was standing in one of the other rooms, and he didn't see it. That makes this even more creepy. Was it maybe the reason for all this ghostly activity? Or was it just visiting him that night? Certainly really terrifying if you think about it. If the man moved houses after this is unknown. The next clip was uploaded by Agustina Divia to her very own channel. She made this video of speaking with people on Omegle, which is a platform to video chat with strangers online. But it isn't the video chatting that is the strangest part of this video, rather what is going on behind. Let's take a look. Comes up time and time again that mirrors are doorways into seeing things we normally cannot see with the naked eye. In this case, we can clearly see a dark shape that looks to be sitting up on her bed in the mirror behind her. But when we look to the right, there's nothing on the bed except some clothing. The way the figure in the mirror goes unnoticed throughout the entire video makes the situation that much more unnerving. What do you guys think of this capture? Is it a trick of the eye, or is it the mirror really showing us something paranormal? Your guess is as good as mine. This video was found in the paranormal section of Reddit. Two young men were supposedly discovering the tunnels of an old mine. They were going on trips together quite frequently and found some really strange stuff in some of these tunnels, to say the least. But this video was a bit different than the others. As they were making it through the abandoned mine shafts, the man filming can capture something without even noticing it at the time. There's a large shadow standing in the distance. The men were sure that it couldn't have been caused by any of the two, and there was nobody else in there. After a quick pan, this shadow has just vanished. The shadow itself also is looking quite a bit odd in terms of proportion. The head looks quite big, but it also could be that whoever is reflected on the rocks here is wearing a jacket with a large collar. They had no idea what we were seeing here. It was an inexplicable event for the two men, up until this day. The following video stems from a group of friends who set off in the middle of the night to a supposedly haunted place in the middle of the mountains. When they get there, they look at the area, and after a while, they come up with a really disturbing capture. Let's see what happened.
Ahmet, Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Sen gel yanıma otur şöyle. Gel, ben duasını okuyacağım. Duasını okuyacağım bakalım. Gel. Tam benim arkamda otur. Aziz. Abi. Sen de yanımda otur.
Sen okumadın değil mi başta?
Yok, daha okumadım. Ondan olabilir, evet. Korunuyor çünkü şimdi burası.
Oku Serap. Ömer bak şu taş dikleştir. Orada öyle değil.
Ahmet sakın şu an her yerde çıkabilir, her an çıkabilir. Bu
Allah Ömer abi sanda.
bir dakika.
Sanda.
Nerede? Yukarıda. Tamam, gördüm. Gördüm, bir dakika bak. Gördüm. Ahmet, bu boynuzlu şerşapal bu Ahmet. Boynuzlu şerşapal bak. Burayı koruyan boynuzlu şerşapal, bu çok güçlü. Çok güçlü Ahmet, sakın panik yapma bak. Başına büyük bir sıkıntı gelebilir, sakın panik yapma bak. Görüyor musun? Şu an bize bakıyor. Ve şimdi bunu...
O neydi öyle?
Çıktı bu ortaya. Bu tılsımla çıktı ortaya.
Bir şey abi.
Ama çok güçlü Ahmet. Var mı başka yerde var?
Aşağıda Ömer abi. Yakında.
They seem to have captured a sinister figure with horns. Could this be an unidentified creature, or are we talking about something devilish even? If it wasn't a prank, of course, who can say what was captured here exactly? Next is one of the most terrifying cases that had been documented in the past few years. These are the recordings of Veronica Shannon, a single mother that was living in a pretty haunted apartment. She described these incidents as pretty strange and thought at first that somebody was playing a prank on her, which is why she decided to get video cameras in her apartment. She ended up seeing some very strange things in the recorded footage. A skeptic at first, Veronica moved a few months after seeing all these strange things at her place. One night, a friend was just about to walk into her apartment where nobody was in the living room at the time. However, something was captured. People asked her if that could have possibly been the spirit of a former owner, perhaps. Of course, Veronica had no idea. She didn't believe this to be the spirit of a deceased relative, though. This certainly does look like the spirit of an elderly lady, wouldn't you say? Unfortunately, things got a bit more scary shortly after, when the door to the kid's bedroom seemed to lock up on its own.
Sister, what happened to you? If something bad happened.
I'm scared to walk in the dark and I'm terrified.
Keep that back towards that tree.
He's following him live.
You didn't follow him at all.
I'm not even moving it.
You finally moved. This door's stuck.
Get the f*** out of here.
It took 3 grown adults to break that door down that night. I mean, who can blame the young woman to wanting to leave this place? Shortly after this recording, Veronica finally found herself a new home for her family. This video was shared by a young man who states that he was out on a nightly trip with friends when they saw something rather strange hovering on the other side of the road. He pulled his phone out and started recording. What caught him off guard was that with this strange sighting, there was an unusual whipping noise that he could hear stemming from that thing. If this was just a wind hose or something, why would it be illuminated? He had no explanations for this sighting. And after returning to the car a bit later that evening, the object had mysteriously disappeared, according to the uploader. Some comments even state that it looks quite similar to a head and a torso. Could this mean that we are looking at a real ghost here? Or is there a way more plausible explanation in your opinion? This video is a really interesting one. It has been forwarded by Ghost's son and it was recorded by a father who was visiting a theme park together with his family in Asia. The land this park was built on is host to many ghost stories and legends, you know, urban legends to spook people a little. What's weird though is that apparently there were a few unnatural sightings taking place on the man's footage. Are we seeing the spirit of a girl here looking out of the window? The man states that the upstairs area is not accessible to the public. How strange. Another really odd moment took place when the father was filming down towards the lobby area in one of the buildings. After moving a bit further down the hallway, something can be seen standing there. Is it a little girl? But how's that possible? Did the man come across several paranormal encounters that day? You'll be the judge. Robin Skirvin has shared the following really odd encounter that apparently was recorded by the CCTV camera right in front of their workplace. It also looked like something was manifesting out of thin air.
Let's see, hang on, it's gonna pull up here in just a second. Okay, there it is right there. Watch. It goes all the way across the camera. Now that you know where it's at, I'll pull out a little bit and just watch this thing. It goes all the way across. And there's not a light because there is no light back there behind. You can see up on the hill back there, there's no light there. There's nobody over here, but it's still going across the camera. You can't see it as much now, but it's there.
So, what was Robin seeing that night? Was it merely a strange light that was transmitted from a car or an object from the back? Or was something floating, or possibly walking by here? It left them quite a bit baffled, he said. This video was posted to the paranormal Reddit section and it was uploaded by Kelson82, and it states, James May in Pompeii, Italy. A ghost appears to walk across the street. Let's see.
This is the main street leading up to the forum. These little openings are things like shops. Through there is a big posh house, and this would have been incredibly busy at the time of the eruption, teeming with Romans doing Roman stuff. And it probably is worth remembering that this actually is a mass grave.
Well, there was something, but it was really bright. Let's look at that again. Oh yeah, look at that in the background. Wow. Could this be an actual spirit walking through the mass grave here? Maybe from Roman times, I don't know. I mean, it does look like something is walking through here. This is not an illusion in my mind. Would they stage their shows though? Possibly. I don't know. The following is a recording which was uploaded by Equitum Duetto Paranormal, and it was a live stream recording that was shared by a young man. He woke up to really unsettling noises in the middle of the night that were stemming from the lower floors of his house. At least this is what he believed at the time. He states that nobody else was in the residence besides his partner and their 2 cats, and the 4 of them were all situated on the upper floor. Let's see what was going on that night.
Otra vez. Ay, perdón. Otra vez, hija. Otra vez empezaron a escuchar los ruidos. Los gatos están aquí en el cuarto de Ale. Espérame, voy a bajar. Tranquila, despierta bien. Voy a bajar. Voy a bajar, a ver, espérame. No, tranquila.
The young man makes it downstairs, and he expected to see several items lying around on the floor.
Ten mi celular a la mano con el número de la policía. ¿Quién está ahí? Tráete mi celular con el número de la policía. ¿Quién eres?
They give it a very thorough search, but can't find any misplaced items on the floor, or anything else that appeared off, which was strange. After all these noises, you would think to find something, right? Confused and very tired, they decide to make it up to the bedroom again. After all, there wasn't much they could do at this point. The young man even states that this place had been blessed by a priest before, so all of this was really strange to them. Of course they had trouble falling asleep that night, and it was shortly after that the activity continued. So they blessed the whole house by themselves, to hopefully find peace that night. But no such luck. Now, look at what happened next.
En nombre de Jesucristo, yo te expulso y te despojo de este lugar. Te despojo. Lárgate. Ser inmundo. Te despojo.
Something appeared to be standing outside the window here, something that shouldn't be there. And it was not possible, since the second floor window had no balcony attached. Some believe this to be an evil spirit that was causing all of this mischief that night. Could that be so? What would you do in this situation? How terrifying. The worst part is that the activity kept continuing all night long. I'll keep an eye open for possible updates on that case. This kid was filming at the house of his parents on the second floor, where nobody else was home, and it appears that something dark got captured on tape.
Oh my god.
Maybe this place has some troubled past. Or it also could be a relative. What do you think? This was sent by Julia, and she tells me that a security camera in a family home has caught something really inexplicable. They have only moved in recently, but ever since they wake up to some really strange noises in the middle of the night. Even their motion sensor alarm gets toggled on ever so often, without anybody being on the ground floor. The family has mounted several security cameras around the house for safety, and to maybe capture the cause of all of this. One evening, the camera in the living room has caught something really bone-chilling. Apparently the man was alone that night, and nobody else should have been on this recording but him. So, how do we explain this semi-transparent figure walking up the stairs? Is it a ghost from the past? Ross Allison has posted the following part of an investigation their team had held in the Homestead restaurant one night. The old restaurant is located in West Seattle. It is said that they were checking out the perimeter at the time when they noticed something strange appearing on one of the team's members' cameras. They had no idea what it was, but it was clear after a few minutes that it had to be an anomaly. A dark shadow seems to be peeking out of one of the open doors in the dark restaurant, and then it just vanishes. The team was baffled, to say the least. And they are pretty certain to have captured a real shadow figure here. What's your opinion? A paranormal find? Or was something else going on here?